Updog.
Updog. Updog.
Updog Sports Talk.
Yeah, you can tell.
Hello, and welcome to Updog Sports Talk. My
Updog.
name is Matt Miller, as always. Joined to my right, Justin McGovern. What is up?
What's up, Matt?
Not much. I just got done eating dinner, and
So did I. And then,
I felt like we had to do this tonight.
yeah, the college football playoff rankings were released, and spoiler alert, they were terrible.
They were worse than terrible. They're worse than trash. They are rubbish.
The coaches poll, which literally is like a bunch of coaches handing off a bunch of papers to their assistants and going, put them somewhere, but put teams in our conferences higher, is a better poll than this one here. And it's just, but anyways, let's go ahead and get started here. These are the college football playoff rankings, and just immediately you look at this, and there is a lot wrong.
There's a
Matt,
lot.
what
to
sticks
unpack,
out
too.
first of all?
Okay. Aside from the obvious, because I'm just gonna say it. Cincinnati at 6. Are you freaking kidding me? Like,
What the hell?
I understand not having them in the top 4, but at 6,
Actually,
seriously?
no, I don't understand having them not in second place right now. There is no other team that has been as good and as consistent as Cincinnati, other than
Yeah, but
the obvious
I'm
number one in
going-
Georgia.
I'm going solely based off of every year we're disappointed by the committee standards.
Yes.
And their committee standards seem to always be what gives ESPN the most views and where can we put the SEC teams. Those are their
Yep.
two moves. So that's what we see at number 2 here with Alabama. Like, there is no reason why they should be there. None
Yeah.
whatsoever.
So
All around, they're not as good as like the past 3 years teams. Quarterback plays down, running back plays down. Like, they're almost relying on their defense.
their lines are not as good as they were in years past. They actually can be bullied a little bit more than usual. Alabama hasn't really been tested with a tough schedule either, honestly. The highest team they played in these rankings, in their rankings that they created, is number 14 Texas A&M. And guess what? They lost that game.
Mm-hmm.
They did beat number 16 Ole Miss, and Mississippi State should not be number 17. How the hell did that? I just noticed that one now. How the hell did that one happen?
I don't know. There's like we said, this is there's a lot to unpack here.
Mississippi State lost to Memphis. Did we forget
if we
that
go
game
down,
happened?
I didn't get a graphic for it.
I didn't either because I didn't realize Mississippi State was number 17. That one is absolutely ridiculous. But there's a very clear double standard here. There are some games the committee liked and some games the committee did not. There are a lot of games being ignored here, but let's highlight 3 of them real quick. For one, the aforementioned Alabama Texas A&M game, where Texas A&M beat Alabama. Alabama's number 2 already. They're ahead of quite a few undefeated teams. Where's this game even included in this?
I don't know. And also, my microphone is randomly falling off in the middle of our show. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not even gonna edit that part out. I'll just stick with that.
Hey, you know what? Let's roll with it, Matt.
Yeah. But yeah, Alabama did have way more yards, but at the end of the day, it's what's on the scoreboard. And the scoreboard clearly shows Texas A&M above Alabama. And Alabama is number 2 in these rankings. That's a bunch of BS.
Yeah, they just there's actually a double standard related to this because, Texas A&M got a boost out of it, but they didn't do anything to Alabama for it. I know Alabama's been very good in the past. There's always a good chance they could play their way in, but they have to play their way in. Let's see them beat someone other than Ole Miss first and
make them prove
put
it
them up there. Right now, I don't see Alabama as a top 14 yet. Not until
No.
they show a little bit more. I understand they've done a lot. They have obviously dominated the college football playoff era, but just to throw them up here like this is just
Go back to the top 25 real quick. One thing that actually stood out to me, and this is probably one of two things that they got right, and one of them, if they got it wrong, they were stupid. The first thing is Georgia at number 1. If they got that wrong,
Yes.
they would have been stupid.
There's, I mean, that was a free space almost.
Yeah, but if you go down to and look at Oklahoma at 8, I actually agree with that one. With how bad Oklahoma has done, like in years past, they probably would have had Oklahoma at 4. And Oklahoma has played more like Pittsburgh. Like I honestly, I don't know how they're undefeated.
Yeah, I don't know either. They have lucked out like in so many games. I think we even touched on this in our last show. Like they got pretty fortunate in a lot of games this year, and that's why they're still undefeated. They haven't played a ranked team yet. So it's and it makes sense, you know, like
and the back half of their schedule is loaded with a bunch of ranked teams. So at least in the AP poll.
Yeah. I'm glad that they didn't get the benefit of the doubt. Like they got treated just like Wake Forest, another Power 5 undefeated team that people aren't quite sold on. The two of them got similar treatment. Oklahoma up ahead of them. Wake Forest has looked better against their weak schedule, so I would almost say that I would put Wake Forest ahead of them at this point. Wake Forest is just
I literally would have switched Wake Forest and Oklahoma, and I'm okay with having Notre Dame at 10 at that point.
Yeah. Well, Notre Dame's at number 10, which you would think of, okay, they think Notre Dame's a really good team, which Notre Dame does look like a good team. Then why is Cincinnati getting 0 credit for this win? Because
none whatsoever.
Here,
like Reese Davis was like, they had Notre Dame, and that's not even that good of a win. And then the other guy on the program, he was trashing them too. And then it was your boy from Ohio State. Was it Galloway?
Oh, Galloway.
Yeah, Galloway was defending Cincinnati, but he had to give his ESPN disclaimer of they're not in a Power 5 conference.
It's just, and they thoroughly dominated this game against Notre Dame, by the way.
I know.
Like, if it wasn't for a bunch of like red zone miscues, like this score would have been even worse than what it was.
Yeah,
that was a very impressive game, and for it to be just left out was a disgrace, I feel like. And one more here, we noticed that Auburn is number 13. They lost to Penn State. Where's Penn State in these rankings?
I know. Penn State literally they just lost to Ohio State. But then, like, if they lost to Ohio State at number 5, why aren't they at least in the teens?
Also, okay, so as an Ohio State fan, I did not think they would be ahead of Cincinnati, nor did they deserve to be ahead of them at this point, because Ohio State lost to Oregon, which Oregon's actually ahead of them in these rankings. It's one of the few things these rankings did correctly.
They got right.
That is their biggest game they played. And other than that, according to this ranking here, the biggest win Ohio State has is over Minnesota, who lost to the team on his shirt, Bowling Green. Like,
yeah, they got a lot wrong on this.
And
I swear to you, there's a conspiracy going on there. Like they literally release shit rankings just so they can get ESPN more views, get everyone talking about college football, release a bunch of shit rankings, and then slightly make tweaks that people won't notice throughout the year.
Oh yeah, that feels like what they're doing. I mean, at the very least, we know they're manipulating it to whatever they're looking for, which is, I mean, definitely these rankings tell me we want Cincinnati out of this playoff. We do not want them anywhere close to it. Get them
even if they were, even when they get to the Big 12, they're not, like, they wouldn't get the respect.
By the way, Houston, SMU, two very impressive teams. Probably should be ranked in the top 25. By the way, they are ranked in both the other polls. They were left out of this poll, by the way. So that clearly was another statement. They even fixed it to make sure that Cincinnati couldn't get another quality win.
And Coastal Carolina's not on here.
UTSA is undefeated right now. They're one of 6 teams that made it to this point. I mean, at least give those guys a shout out, number 25. I mean, yeah, you can say their schedule wasn't the best, but guess what? They beat Illinois. Penn State couldn't do that. They freaking beat, who else did they beat? I mean, they beat a bunch of other teams. Pittsburgh lost to Western
We were not
Michigan.
prepared for this show. We just decided to throw this together.
Oh, yeah,
Don't
we
judge
threw this
us.
together last moment. Pittsburgh lost to Western Michigan, though. So, you know, they can't get past Western Michigan. You got to give UTSA credit for that, at least.
Right.
Again, Mississippi State lost to Memphis.
It just screams because, like, there's 6 SEC teams in here, 7 SEC teams in here. Like, seriously? You think 7 SEC teams have a shot at 4 spots?
No.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And again, like, how did Auburn end up number 13 when they lost to Penn State?
Oregon lost to Stanford. Why are they at 4?
Yeah. I mean,
I
they
understand
did beat Ohio
Michigan State in the top 4. I actually agree with them at number 3, but Cincinnati should be number 2. Michigan State should be number 3. And then at that point, you can put anyone you want at number 4.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll say Notre Dame at 4. No, I'm playing. I'm not going that far.
But yeah, I mean, there's definitely an argument to put Michigan State up there because, I mean, similar to Cincinnati, actually, they have one impressive win and then not much else at this point. But they have looked really good. You could argue Michigan State over Cincinnati at 2, but Cincinnati should definitely be top 3 right now.
Yeah, and then, like, if they're gonna take the Navy game and, like, use it against them, it's like, look at all the other games that most of these teams have done. There's a couple of one score wins in there that kind of scrape them by.
Yeah, Oklahoma almost Tulane had the ball with a chance to beat Oklahoma.
Yeah. I don't know. I like if this wasn't on my computer, and again, if there was a piece of paper, I would literally burn it. Like, this is so bad.
Yeah, these are terrible. I can't believe Wisconsin made the way in these rankings again. That one's ridiculous to me too.
I know. And why would you put Iowa behind Wisconsin?
Well, Wisconsin did just beat Iowa pretty thoroughly.
Okay, but I know, but like Iowa's been pretty impressive except for like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. And like, you know, they sometimes even make a little bit of ground for like extenuating circumstances. Which is how you could, where's Penn State in the rankings? Like, literally, they should replace Mississippi State with Penn State right now because Penn State did lose their quarterback. That's probably why they lost to Iowa. They lost their quarterback partway through the game, and they led by 2 scores at that point. And then when he left, Iowa came back to win that one. So you could say the circumstances around that. Him playing hurt may have led to the Illinois loss. Like, and most of my argument around Penn State's the fact that Auburn's number 13
right.
It's just like you can't have one without the other.
Yeah, this is just, I don't know. This is probably the worst one they've ever released. Like,
yeah,
there's been times in the past. There's been times in the past where I'm like, okay, well, like, you clearly are rooting against the UC. And in years past, I kind of understood a little bit of it. But this year, to not have them in the playoff, like, seriously, they went toe to toe with Georgia last year.
They did. They went toe to toe with them. They not even
almost beat them in a bowl game.
UC, they dominated the first 3 quarters of that game and then just choked it away at the end. They had that game won. They should have won that game. But and then of course, you know, this commissioner guy, like, I don't even read half of what he says because like he just talks. He's literally another Roger Goodell out there, just pretty much like saying a bunch of words without actually saying anything constructive. He always starts every sentence with,
he's not self-sabotaging like Rob Manfred.
Yeah.
I guess he has that going for him.
But like he starts every sentence about Cincinnati with the committee respects Cincinnati, and then goes on to say a bunch of things.
Yeah, right.
They actually
don't. You don't respect Cincinnati.
No
one does.
Yeah, there is. I don't know.
Actually, it's funny. I was on Facebook the other day and all the internet know-it-alls were commenting on this post about Cincinnati being like number 2. And then a bunch of people were like, they're not even good enough to be number 25. All I had to do was laugh at that one. I thought that one was pretty funny. Shout out to you, random guy on the internet.
You never know what to expect from people with the internet.
Yeah. But looking at these rankings, like, I don't know. The only thing they got right is Georgia. That's it. We almost need to just end the show now because that's all we got. Like,
yeah. All right. You know what? Let's make the rest of our nights better and stop talking about these damn rankings.
Yeah.
Oh my. They did a terrible job. Something needs to be fixed here. I don't know what, but this committee.
What they need to do is burn it and then have someone else do it.
Yeah.
Because this is just trash. Allstate shouldn't put their name on it. ESPN they have to put their name on it. But like, this is trash. Like, I literally don't know what else to say. This is so bad.
I'm done looking at it.
Thank you.
Yeah, they were given one job and they have failed at said job.
Yes. NFL news, Henry Ruggs is going away for a while. We won't really have to touch on that. You guys will hear it everywhere else.
They're sad.
Rams are good. Packers are good. John Wick threw the ball around on like last week. That's about the gist of the NFL, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
Oh, Derrick Henry's gone. Everyone's getting injured. You might as well just drop everyone on your fantasy team, Justin.
Yeah, Chiefs still not back yet. They got to win.
They just traded one of their guards away to the Jets.
Yeah, that was very surprising to me.
Yeah, I was like, that guy may not start every game, but he plays a decent amount. I forget his name. It was like, I think he was the one that took off for COVID.
Yeah, wasn't he the one that went to like fight COVID last year?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was him. Maybe he wanted to be closer to home, and that's like the best they could do.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Feel bad for him. Now he's on the Jets.
Yeah.
Poor
guy. Well, that looks like the show. I don't have anything else, so.
Yep, that's it for me.
All right. Well, we will do better next time. We just wanted to get on here, ramble, and complain about the college football playoff. And
hope you all enjoyed our angry rant.
Hopefully you got this far. If not, then me saying goodbye doesn't actually matter. So
peace out.